My name's Alexa and I am part of the education team here at Cypher Coders. At Cypher we get children excited about technology by teaching them to code through fun and creative projects. So today we're going to be celebrating National Coding Week by coding our very own Flappy Bird game. So stick around for a full DIY game design lesson. I'm going to show you how to make a Flappy Bird magic game. So with this one you are going to need to have some things already set up, so you need to download our version of the starter file for this game, which has the bird, game over, and then 2 background sprites and a wand. You'll notice that the background isn't in the stage area, which is a little bit different to normal, but that's because we've got to code these to move, and you can't code your backdrop to move. So that's why these are sprites and not backdrops. So first things first, I'm going to code my bird. And what I need to go to is I need to get a when green flag clicked. So this refers to this button here, and it just means that when I press that button, the game will start. Then I'm going to get a looks, and I'm going to find show, and this one, go to front layer. That means that the bird is going to be at the front of the game rather than behind any of these other sprites, because we've got quite a few. Then I want a set size, and you can see that when it's 100% it's massive, so we want to set it to 20. And then I want to switch costume, and I want to set that to bird 1. And what we're doing now is we're going to code it to reset basically when we die. So it's going to go back to the position that it was in and the size that it was in. So it's always going to look the same at the start. And then I'm picking a motion block, and I'm going to put 0 in there and 10 in there, which it's already set up as anyway. And then I'm going to code my bird to flap as I move it. So at the moment it's static, which means it's still, but I want to make it move when I am flying. So I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to put when up arrow is pressed. Change Y by 20. So this is referring to the axis. So you might have learned about axes in maths, and the Y axis is this one. So it means I'm going to code it to go up and down rather than forward and backwards like that. And I'm going to have this one, which is a switch costume, which basically he's not going to put a different outfit on. It just means that his set of wings will be up, and then I'm going to code them to go down as well. So I then want a control block, a weight 0.1, and another switch costume, and then another like so. And then I'm going to select it and copy and paste. So now I've got 2, and I'm on a Mac, so I use Control C. You might use I'm on a Mac, so I use Command C. You might use Control C if you're on a PC to copy. But this just means that I don't have to find all of the code blocks again. I can just do that and then it's done. The only other change I need to do is put a minus here so that I'm coding it to go down, and this one codes it to go up. So now that one is done, we need to move on to the background. So I've got my background here, and in this one I want another when green flag clicked. I want a motion, and I want to code this as 0 and 0. And then I want a looks show. A forever. This is a loop. And then another move. and change 10 to 6. And then an if loop in there. And then I want this top one. Make sure you pay attention to which way round this is. I want to change 50 to 460. And I also want to go to motion. And you'll see that there are some that are slightly different shape, and these kind of lozenge ones go in here. And I want the X position to go in there. And then another motion. And I'm going to put -4, 6, 5 and 0. Make sure that you get these numbers correct when you're doing yours. So again, I am going to Control C my code and click and drop it into my other background. So you can see at the moment, because I've only coded one, it's kind of messed it up a little bit. So when you're in here, you'll see that the second one still remains, but you want to get rid of that so that you've only got one in this first one. And then we go in here, and we've got our code blocks already, but we want to change a few of the numbers. So I'm just going to press stop on that. And in this top X, I want 465. This stays the same. This stays the same. This stays the same, and this stays the same. So this one is now done. Now I want to go to my ones, which are these ones here. And on this, I want another green flag. So when green flag is clicked, hide, and a forever loop. And then a wait block. And go to front layer. And now I want a variable. And I'm going to change my variable to speed and change that to 4. And then a control, and I'm going to create a clone of myself. And then I'm going to wait. And now I need a green operation. Two in there. Speed, oh. Make sure you have it when it lights up, and you can click and drop your variable into there. Next, I want to go to when I start as a clone. Now this looks like an event because it's in that shape, but this one is actually in the control section. So I want when I start as a clone, motion, and I go to XY, and that one needs to be 280 and 0. And then we want a switch costume. And we want to pick random operator, and we're going to pick 1 to 3 because there's 3 different outfits, well, costumes, sorry, in the wand sprite. And then I want a show and a motion. Variable, my speed goes in here. You might have to create these variables, and all you do for that is you want to click on make a variable and then type in speed. So if yours doesn't appear in your starter file, then don't worry, you can just make one easily like that. And then the last bit of that one is a control, and I want to put delete this clone here. oh, sorry, I need to change this to minus 280 and 0. Okay, so now we want to put some more in the okay, to code game over, we want to click on the game over, and then I want to have this, a forever loop, an if then loop, and an equals one here. I want that to be 0, and then I'm adding in a new variable here, and I'm going to click this one on. You might have seen me click it off earlier, but that's because we hadn't got to this stage. So the lives variable is here, and it basically means you can hit the wand barriers 3 times before game over will apply. Then we want to go back to looks, and we want a go to back layer. And hide. And that one is done. And then I want to go to the bird, and I'm going to add another bit of code to here. So I want another when green flag clicked. Oh, that's a variable. So I want this one that says gravity, but I want it to be lives to 3. So that means when we restart the game, your lives will go back up to 3. And then a control forever loop under here. And an if then. We want a sensing one here because we want it to sense when we hit the wand kind of barrier thing. So that's why we are picking this one. So I want a touching, which is the top one. Click and drag that in. And wand, because that's referring to this name here. And then a control. No, not a control, a variable. And that goes in here, change lives by -1. And then we want a control wait 1 second. Then we go back to the game over one, and we want to add another block into here. So I want to stop all, because that means the game will stop, essentially. So this is your completed game. When we press this, you can see that, oh, my bird will fly up and down. And I'm using my up and down arrow key on my keyboard to move. And then you can see that if I hit there, my lives have gone down to 2, and I will hit that one and then hit this one, and then it's game over. So that is your Flappy Birds game. I hope you enjoy making it, and let us know how it goes, and you can save your Scratch files to the Cypher Studio. So that will be really nice to see what you managed to do for your Flappy Birds game. Thank you for watching our game design video. If you'd like to learn how to code more games and programs, why not sign up for our free trial classes linked below. Bye for now and stay curious.